In 1962, a massive underground fire ignited beneath the town of Centralia, Pennsylvania. For decades, the earth slowly boiled, opening toxic sinkholes and forcing residents to flee. By the late 1990s, it became a ghost town. But in May of 2014, a group of 3 experienced urban explorers decided to bypass the warning signs and enter the red zone. They were looking for an abandoned coal mine shaft, rumored to hold a dark secret. They started their camera, walked into the thick white smoke, and were never seen again. This is the complete, terrifying timeline of the Centralia deep mine incident. Deep inside the burning tunnels, the temperature was rising rapidly. The team's carbon monoxide detectors began to beep frantically, but according to the recovered video footage, they didn't turn back. Instead, they focused the camera on a heavy, rusted steel door built directly into the coal wall, a door that shouldn't have been there. As they approached, the audio captured a strange, low-frequency rhythmic sound resembling a heavy mechanical heartbeat coming from the other side. 3 days after the team failed to check in, local state police found their abandoned SUV near the highway. A search dog tracked their scent to a collapsed sinkhole, where officers discovered the cracked VHS camera. The footage ended abruptly, but police found something even more disturbing. Footprints in the ash showed that one person had actually crawled out of the shaft. He ran back into the empty streets of Centralia, but his tracks suddenly stopped dead in the middle of an open intersection, as if he vanished into thin air. Detectives digging into the backgrounds of the missing explorers uncovered a hidden digital file. It contained a declassified military document from 1966. According to the papers, the underground fire wasn't started by a trash dump accident, as the public was told. The government was deliberately trying to incinerate a deep subterranean research bunker, a facility where scientists had supposedly lost control of an experimental biological anomaly. The rusted door found by the team wasn't a mine entrance. It was the seal to a literal hell. The case remained cold for exactly 10 years, but in October of 2024, something impossible happened. In the dead center of the abandoned Centralia intersection, the exact spot where the footprints vanished, an old disconnected payphone suddenly began to ring. A nearby highway patrol officer heard it and answered. On the other end, through heavy static and the sound of mechanical heartbeats, a young voice whispered, "We found the door. It's open. And it's coming out." The line went dead forever. The summer of 2014 was supposed to be a time of celebration, relaxation, and friendship for 28-year-old Lars Mittank. Like thousands of other young German tourists, Lars wanted nothing more than to escape the routine of his daily life and enjoy the sun-drenched beaches of Bulgaria. He traveled with a close-knit group of school friends to Golden Sands, a popular resort town known for its vibrant nightlife, beautiful coastline, and cheap entertainment. To anyone looking from the outside, Lars was a perfectly normal, happy, and healthy young man. He worked a stable job at a power plant in Germany, loved football, and had a close, loving relationship with his family, especially his mother. There were absolutely no signs of mental illness, depression, or unusual behavior in his past. But within just 1 week, this ordinary holiday would transform into one of the most chilling and baffling psychological mysteries of the modern digital age. Today, Lars Mittank is recognized globally by one haunting title: the most famous missing tourist in history. The mystery did not begin in a dark alley or a hidden room. It unfolded in broad daylight, captured in high definition by government security cameras at Varna International Airport on July 8, 2014. The footage, which has now been viewed tens of millions of times across the internet, is deeply disturbing to watch. It begins with Lars walking into the airport terminal. He is carrying 2 large pieces of luggage, moving slowly, looking completely exhausted, but relatively calm. He enters the office of the airport physician Dr. Kosta Kostov, seeking a routine medical clearance to fly back home to Germany. But what happened next defies all logic. Less than 10 minutes later, the office door bursts open. Lars Mittank runs out into the main terminal. He is no longer carrying his luggage. He has left his heavy bags, his wallet containing hundreds of euros, his mobile phone, and his official German passport behind. He is sprinting. His face is twisted in a mask of pure, unadulterated terror, as if he is looking directly into the eyes of death itself. He sprints past shocked travelers, shoves his way through the heavy glass exit doors, and runs out into the bright morning sun of the airport parking lot. He does not stop to look back. He sprints across the asphalt, climbs over a massive 10-foot-tall barbed wire security fence, tearing his clothes in the process, and disappears into a vast, dense field of towering sunflowers. Beyond that field lies a thick, dark Bulgarian forest. Lars Mittank walked into that forest on a warm July morning. He was never seen again. For over 12 years, not a single piece of his clothing, a bone, or a personal item has ever been found. He vanished completely off the face of the earth. What could possibly terrify a grown, healthy man so much that he would abandon everything he owned and run completely naked of resources into the wilderness? To understand this terrifying final moment, we must go back to the beginning of that fatal week in Bulgaria.
What happened to Lars Mittank after he disappeared into that endless field of sunflowers remains a dark mystery. Some witnesses later claimed they saw a young man matching his description, walking along a nearby highway, looking disoriented and exhausted, but no concrete evidence was ever found. To understand why he ran, we have to look at the terrifying events of the previous night. Lars had checked into a cheap hotel called Color, located in a dangerous area of Varna. He was completely alone. During the night, his paranoia reached a breaking point. He called his mother in Germany multiple times, whispering into the phone. He told her that 4 mysterious men were hunting him, trying to kill him. He asked her to cancel all his credit cards immediately. Security cameras at the hotel captured him pacing up and down the hallways, hiding in the elevator, and looking out the windows in absolute terror. He was running from an enemy that no one else could see.
The morning of July 8, 2014, brought no relief. Lars Mittank finally arrived at Varna Airport, hoping his nightmare would end as soon as he boarded the plane back to Germany. Visually, he seemed calmer than the night before, but underneath the surface, extreme paranoia was still burning. Before flying, Lars needed to be cleared by the airport doctor, Dr. Kosta-Kostov, due to the severe ear injury he sustained during the brawl. Lars entered the medical office alone. For the first few minutes, the conversation was completely normal. The doctor examined him, and Lars answered questions quietly. But the atmosphere shifted instantly when a construction worker suddenly walked into the room to assist with airport renovations. The sight of a stranger triggered something terrifying inside Lars's mind. Absolute panic took over. Without saying a word, Lars jumped up from his chair. He left his backpack, his wallet with all his money, and his official passport right there on the doctor's table. He didn't care about anything anymore. He just needed to run. The airport security cameras captured what is now known as the most chilling footage in YouTube history. Lars Mittank, sprinting out of the terminal in pure, raw terror. He ran past the taxis, dashed through the parking lot, and headed toward the highway. With adrenaline pumping through his veins, he climbed over a high metal fence topped with sharp, barbed wire. On the other side lay a massive, endless field of tall sunflowers. Lars ran into the thick green and yellow plants and vanished. No one knew that this would be the last time a living soul would ever see him. Lars Mittank ran into the endless sunflower field and vanished into thin air. At first, his friends and family back in Germany thought it was just a temporary delay. Maybe he lost his phone, maybe he was resting somewhere. But hours turned into days, and days turned into weeks. The silence from Bulgaria was deafening. Lars was officially gone. Back in Germany, his mother, Sandra Mittank, was living through a waking nightmare. The terrifying, paranoid phone calls she received from her son in the middle of the night kept looping in her head. She knew Lars wasn't just missing, she knew he was running for his life. Desperate for answers, Sandra refused to sit and wait for the local authorities. She contacted the German police, mobilized volunteers, and spent her own life savings to hire professional private investigators. A massive search operation began on Bulgarian soil. Private detectives, accompanied by specialized search dogs, arrived in Varna. They focused on the airport perimeter, the highway, and the massive sunflower field where Lars was last seen. Volunteers walked through the thick, towering plants for days. But the field was a labyrinth. The summer heat was brutal, and the ground kept its secrets. The dogs found absolutely no scent, no torn clothing, no footprints. It was as if Lars had simply dissolved. Desperate to keep the investigation alive, Sandra and her team printed thousands of missing person flyers. Lars's face, with his bright blue eyes and blonde hair, was plastered on lampposts, bus stations, hotels, and taxi windows all over Varna and neighboring towns. A massive reward was offered for any solid information. The local Bulgarian police looked into every lead, but every single tip led to a dead end. No hospitals reported a matching patient. No morgues had unclaimed bodies. 10 years later, the question remains: how does a grown man completely disappear from a high-security airport area without leaving a single trace?
The disappearance of Lars Mittank is officially the most famous missing person mystery in internet history. A young German man, completely healthy, runs out of an airport terminal in Bulgaria, climbs a barbed wire fence, and disappears into a sunflower field. 10 years have passed. No body has ever been found. No personal items have ever emerged. He simply ceased to exist. Today, we look into the final, darkest theories that attempt to answer the ultimate question: what happened to Lars Mittank? The first, and perhaps most grounded theory, revolves around a medical nightmare. Before his disappearance, Lars was prescribed an antibiotic called cefprozil to treat his ruptured eardrum. Medical experts have pointed out that in very rare cases, this specific medication can trigger severe side effects, including extreme psychotic episodes, vivid hallucinations, and acute paranoia. If Lars was experiencing a drug-induced psychosis, his mind would have created a terrifying alternate reality. To him, the airport doctor and the construction worker weren't just innocent people. They were monsters or assassins sent to capture him. Running into the sunflower field was a desperate act of survival, but what happened next? Under a psychosis, a person loses the ability to feel hunger, thirst, or pain. Many believe Lars kept running for miles, eventually collapsing from severe dehydration or heat stroke deep inside the wilderness, where the local police simply failed to look. The second theory takes a much darker, criminal turn. Human trafficking and organ harvesting networks are known to operate in Eastern Europe, and Bulgaria's geographical position makes it a hotspot. Proponents of this theory believe that Lars's paranoia wasn't a hallucination. It was real. He knew he was being watched. When he ran out of the airport completely defenseless, without money, a phone, or a passport, he became the perfect, vulnerable target. Did someone intercept him on the highway right after he jumped the fence? Did a passing car offer him help, only to drive him away into a nightmare from which he would never return? This would explain why search dogs couldn't find his scent in the field for long, because he might have been picked up by a vehicle almost immediately. The third theory offers a small sliver of hope, suggesting that Lars Mittank is actually still alive. Over the years, dozens of unconfirmed sightings have kept this case burning. In 2016, a truck driver in Germany claimed he picked up a hitchhiker who looked exactly like an older, bearded Lars. In 2019, a photograph of a homeless man living on the streets of Porto Alegre, Brazil, went viral because of his striking resemblance to the missing German tourist. Could Lars have suffered from dissociative fugue, a rare psychological state where a person completely forgets who they are and starts a brand new life from scratch? Did he manage to slip across borders as a homeless wanderer, living under a different name, entirely unaware that millions of people around the world are looking for him? Today, the sunflower field in Varna is quiet. The case remains open, an eternal ghost story of the digital age. Was he a victim of his own mind, a target of organized crime? Or is he a forgotten wanderer searching for a home he no longer remembers? The mystery of Lars Mittank remains unsolved.